Day 109, April the 19th. Today, for those of you doing the one-year Bible, we've got Joshua chapter 19, verse 1, chapter 20, verse 9, Luke chapter 19, verse 28 through 48, Psalm chapter 88, verse 1 through 18, Proverbs chapter 13, verse 12 through 14. 12, 13, 14. That's 3 Proverbs today. They want us to be extra smart. Today I want to look at a section in Luke chapter 19, verse 45 through 48. And he, speaking of Jesus, and he entered the temple and began to drive out those who sold, saying to them, "It is written, my house shall be a house of prayer, but you have made it a den of robbers." And he was teaching daily in the temple, and the chief priests and the scribes and the principals of men and the people were seeking to destroy him. But they did not find anything they could do, for all the people were hanging on his words. You may remember this account from the other Gospels. Jesus goes in, cleans the temple. One account talks about him making a whip of cords and going and cleaning house with that, flipping over the money changers' tables, slashing this whip around. I really want to make a t-shirt company for these ideas in Scripture that you wouldn't normally see on a t-shirt. I want one with Jesus, like his hand under this change table, flipping it over, money, coins flying everywhere. I want like these birds that they're selling, the doves flying away. And I want him with this whip, just like screaming, "Clear this house. This is God's house. This is holy." And then underneath, I want it to say, "What would Jesus do?" I mean, this is not the image we get so often when we think of Jesus. We think of this calm, peaceful, yeah, we'll just let everybody do everything and be so friendly and happy. But our God is a warrior. Our God is a righteous God who wants the right thing, and he fights for the right thing. And here we see the wrong thing happening, and he cleans house. You see, the temple back in the day was set up very interestingly, and I'm not going to get into a bunch of details, but in simplicity, the temple was a large area, like a courtyard. And this courtyard, anybody could go into. A Jew, a Gentile, you could go into that section of the temple. Now, then there was a section of the temple that was reserved for Jews only. So you have this big area for everybody, and then you have a smaller area for only the Jews. And then you have this smaller area for only the priests. Then you have the smallest area for only the high priest to go very rarely in there. So that's the way the temple's set up. See, God designed this temple so that he could reach all people. Yes, his chosen people were the Jews, the Israelites, the Jewish people. Those were his chosen people. But he extended his temple to allow others in. Those who wouldn't normally have access, to begin to experience God in a way to where they could turn from their ways and receive him and begin following in his ways. You see, what Jesus sees when he goes into this temple, he sees the area that's to reach the lost, the area for everybody to go to, being totally overridden with animals and money changers and people taking advantage of other people. This is supposed to be a house of prayer. How can people, the Gentiles, the non-Jews, how can they go in there and have prayer when there's sheep running around doing sheep nasty mess things all over the ground? Birds, people calling out money changing back and forth. They robbed the ability of the people to be with the Lord. And that angers him. It angers him when people rob others of the ability to have a relationship with him. That's what this story is truly about. Is God wants to have a relationship. Now, the very people that were being corrected for taking the ability to access a relationship with God, those people then turn on God. And so they are looking for a way to find fault with Jesus. But look at this in verse 48. They could not find anything they could do because all the people were hanging on his words. See, no guilt can be found when people hang on the words of Jesus. And I just want to encourage you, hang on the words of Jesus in such a way to where it allows others to have access to the relationship with God, rather than in this way that pushes others away from being able to have that relationship. Do not rob others of their relationship with God, but be sure you're hanging on his words. Because when you hang on the words of Jesus, no fault can be found with you. Take care of yourselves out there, guys.